Hello folks, my name is Mark, this is Why I Hate the World. How you guys doing? Big news out in Washington yesterday, I'm sure you're all aware, they have released the Nunez memo. So for those of you who are out of the loop, what it is that over the last couple of months there's been this sort of Republican meme going around, release the memo, right? And what it is that Devin Nunez, who is in charge of the intelligence committee that is investigating possible ties between Trump and Russia, basically the Russian investigation on the Senate side, which is independent from the FBI side. Right. Well, this guy, Devin Nunez, is the head of it, and he's essentially just Trump's puppet, is what this guy is. There was some controversy a little while back about how he did a midnight run to the White House to reveal some information that the committee had to Trump. So he's basically Trump's inside man. He's his lapdog, and he's been putting out over the last month or so, couple of months, this notion that he has this secret memo that somehow proves that Robert Mueller and the FBI are out to get Trump. It proves bias in their investigation and all that, right? And what it basically is, it's an attempt to smear Mueller and discredit the investigation because basically shit is about to go down. Right. Over the next couple of months, it's gonna hit Trump. It's already hit some people close to him. Carter Page, Papadopoulos, a couple of others who have pled guilty. I think there's 4 Trump administration officials so far who have been indicted. And now, from the looks of things, it looks like it's going to start hitting the Trump inner circle, if not Trump himself. At the very least, people like possibly Jared Kushner and some others are going to be in some trouble here pretty soon, right? Up to and including the president. One can only hope. So the idea here is that Devin Nunez has been floating this idea that he has this secret information, and he wrote it down in this memo, and it's this secret memo that's going to blow the lid off of this entire thing and prove that the FBI is part of the deep state, and really they're all run by, Democrats and Hillary Clinton operatives and shit, and they were out to get Trump since day one. And they've been touting this for a little while now, and it's been going through all the conservative media, Fox News and stuff. And I saw a clip where Hannity said that this is the worst government scandal of all time and all this other baloney. And they released the memo finally, Trump releases it, and it's complete and total horseshit from start to finish. Virtually, before they said that this investigation was a nothing burger. That was something that the Republicans said. This is a fucking nothing burger. There's absolutely no substance to it. It's propaganda. Okay, and so what it's supposed to be. Now, if it looks like I'm reading here, it's because I am. All right. What it's supposed to be is that it's a summary of the FISA warrant that the FBI took out against Carter Page. Right. But the problem is that Devin Nunez didn't actually read this warrant. Right. So it's basically he wrote a memo on the warrant saying that the warrant was done on, false grounds, but he didn't actually read the warrant. So it's like doing a book report on a book that you didn't read. You fill it full of bullshit. Okay. I mean, the thing is only 2 other people on the committee actually fucking read it. It's not him. Absolute ridiculous, number one. Okay. And just before we get started here, something that is of note, to prove that this is propaganda, the Republicans released this memo. They used an obscure law to release this memo, right? And the law they used is designed to whistleblow things, illegal actions by the FBI or the intelligence committee. So it's something like, for example, COINTELPRO back in the 70s. Or another example would be like during the McCarthy era, right? Something where when if the FBI or the CIA or an intelligence agency is doing something so incredibly illegal that, and this was designed to protect whistleblowers, right? They used that to release this document. Now, the Democrats on the committee had their own document that they wrote, right? And the Republicans, since they outnumber them on the committee, voted them down and wouldn't release their document, but they released their own. So that just kind of goes to show you, it's like, we're going to give you our side of the story, and we're going to prevent our opposition from giving their side. It's total fucking bullshit. Of course, you don't see them telling you that on Fox and shit. Of course not. Total fucking bullshit. But anyway, so what's it all about? Well, it's a summary of the FISA warrant, right? But it's a renewal of the FISA warrant against Carter Page because the FBI was already investigating Carter Page, right? So this was like in 2013, they were investigating Carter Page. So even before the guy joined the Trump, transition team, joined the Trump fucking campaign, he was already being investigated because Russian spies were trying to recruit him, and this warrant was to re-up that. So basically every 90 days you have to re-up the FISA warrant, right? And Nunez's claim is that they used the Steele dossier, right? You guys all remember that the Steele dossier is the thing that basically said Trump liked to, get pissed on by prostitutes. Basically, so they used the Steele dossier as a reason to re-up it. And the reason why that's wrong is because the Clinton people paid for that dossier. So that's the claim. This is what he leaves out, all right? The Steele dossier, number one, was funded by the GOP, all right? They don't tell you that, when you hear Rush Limbaugh talk about it, when you see Sean Hannity talk about the Steele dossier. The GOP funded that, right? As the opposition to Donald Trump in the GOP. Because remember, they didn't want Donald Trump. They fought like hell to not get Donald Trump, right, to be their, candidate. And they only accepted it when fucking he won. And then they begrudgingly accepted him, right? Now they're breaking the law to fucking, protect his ass, but that's another story. So that's how that started, right? The GOP paid this guy, Steele, to make a dossier, right? And then once Trump becomes the candidate, the Democrats took that over because it's opposition research. Okay, number one. So another claim there, right, is that there's an FBI agent, and his name is Strazok, I think. Strazok, whatever. And he's the guy that's at the center of the phony baloney FBI text message scandal. Well, if you don't know about that, basically a couple of agents on Mueller's team were texting each other back and forth about how they think Trump is a bad president and how they hate his ass. And what happened is that as soon as the Mueller people, as soon as they found out about that, they kicked him off the team, okay? Because it would look bad. So the Republicans have kind of latched onto that. They're trying to use that as proof that, there's anti-Trump bias or something, which is bullshit. It's total bullshit. So anyway, the claim is that this guy, Strazok, had a clear anti-Trump bias, right? And this bias led him to open this counterintelligence investigation against Papadopoulos. If you remember that guy, he's one of the people that's been, indicted. The truth is, now there's two problems with this, okay? This guy, Strazok, he tried to reopen the Clinton email investigation a week before the 2016 election. He's the guy that, if you remember that, about a week before Clinton, what happened is they found a laptop by Anthony Weiner's wife. What was her name? Abadubajin or something. I can't remember her name. And it had some Clinton emails on it, and they wanted to reopen the investigation. And then James Comey came out and made an announcement saying that we're not going to reopen it. Do you guys remember that? A lot of people took that the wrong way. They made it sound like that they were, and then that actually is probably one of the contributing factors to why Clinton lost the election. If you remember that, this guy Strazok, he was the agent in charge of that. He wanted to reopen it. So that kind of, shows that he didn't have any Clinton bias there. If he's going to take an action that could possibly lose her the election the week before the fucking election. Okay? All right, so that's just toss that claim right out the fucking window. The other problem with this is that it kind of admits that the reason why Trump's being investigated, what started the investigation was Papadopoulos, which the Republicans have been claiming was fake news this whole time. Now they just straight up admit it, and it's, it's bullshit. And the other claim here is that, this also proves that the FBI was targeting Trump, even before he was elected, even before he became the candidate. The whole Obama was wiretapping me thing, which was bullshit too, because the truth is that they've been saying that Carter Page was just a low-level volunteer this whole time. The Trump people are just kind of trying to claim that this was like a coffee guy, that all he did was come in and make flyers and shit. And it's like bullshit. So basically, this memo, I just kind of grazed the top of this. If you want like a really good article on all the ifs, ands, and buts and all the things that this thing fucks up, there's actually one on HuffPost. There's a really good one on Daily Beast, right? Go check these things out, right? Read it for yourself, right? And there's really good analysis out there, but it's just basically propaganda. We all knew it was going to be propaganda, and it's the fact that it's so blatantly shallow and it's blatant bullshit just kind of doesn't, to be honest though, it really doesn't surprise me, because this is the plan behind this whole thing. Okay. The Republicans, Nunez, right, Trump, they know that none of their supporters are going to give a shit about how much truth is actually in this, right? They're not going to care. They know that no one that voted for them, nobody that supports them, their base, they know they're not going to actually fucking read this. And even if they did read it, they're too fucking stupid, right, to understand how it's lying to them. All they're doing, they release this, and then they're going to refer back to it. And that's all it is. See, according to this memo, the FBI is doing this, and that, and so we can fire Robert Mueller, and we can shut the whole thing down. And that's what it is. It's an excuse to shut the whole thing down. It doesn't matter that it's not true. It's propaganda in the most base meaning of the word, right? It's ridiculous, and really nobody with a brain should be taking this shit seriously. But if you go on Fox, if you go on Breitbart, if you listen to AM talk conservative radio, that's what they're doing with it. It's a tool. No matter, it doesn't matter that the shit has zero truth to it, right? They know that the Republicans don't give a fuck. They don't care. See, that's the problem now, is that the Republican Party has become it's a cult of personality now. It's essentially fascist in everything but name only, right? They don't give a shit that it's not true. They're going to use it as an excuse anyway to just do what they want to do anyway. That's the problem with it. And that's the thing. It doesn't matter how many times that you tell them it's fake, or if you go on, let's say you go on Reddit or a bulletin board or your whatever, and you argue with people and you cite the truth to them over and over and over, it doesn't matter. They don't care. That's the difference. All those fucking stupid conservative assholes don't give a shit, right? They really do not care. The people who do care left. They're not, the people that actually care, that have integrity, that actually care about, the truth, that kind of thing, they're not Republicans anymore. Or at least they're not defending, they won't be the people defending the president. The people that are left are the hardcore base, the fucking, the people that don't give a shit, right? That's what they are. They voted for Trump because they don't like, Mexicans, right? They want to build a fucking stupid wall, and they want to go kill, they want to go kill Muslims. That's why they voted for Trump, and they don't care about any of this other shit. They don't give a fuck that, he could basically break any law there is. He could light a small child on fire on live TV, and they wouldn't care. So really, that's what it really comes down to, is it's a joke, and I guarantee it, you're going to go on Fox today for the next week or so, and people like Sean Hannity are going to be defending this memo and citing it as evidence, saying that it's a reason why that, Trump should just fire them all, should fire Mueller. They're going to use it as a justification because that's what it is. It's a tool. And to be honest, if you believe it, then you're a tool too. Anyway, it's a sad day for America when you know, we even entertain ridiculous shit like this. You know, George Washington would be rolling over in his fucking grave right now. Absolutely sad. Anyway, that's all I got. Adios, folks.